friend, my name is Erika Belvin and I am the owner of Boss Bay Digital Lab on Etsy. My Etsy started a little over 4 years ago and it's been a crazy ride since. We did hit 6 figures as a company in our first year, which was so cool because I was literally bartending in a small bar out in Connecticut and I was just miserable and I was just looking for a way out. And little did I know that this website called Etsy would be the thing that saved me from my horrible job. So let's get into this and let's talk about how to list a digital download. Now, what I thought was best, and if you guys feel like you want to see this done, step by step, you let me know. But what I thought was best was for you to see the inside, the skeleton of one of my high-performing digital downloads, okay? So a digital download, the difference between digital download and do-it-yourself. Do-it-yourself requires a software, which it requires installation of that software. And so a digital download can actually be uploaded to like Dropbox or WeTransfer.com or to Etsy alone if the files are small enough and can be downloaded directly by your customer who purchases the item. And so what's amazing about that, why I actually love instant downloads over DIY, is because there isn't that extra step of having to wait for the email for access to edit and download. So that being said, yes, there is a big difference. We will go over DIY for both cordial and template, but right now what we're gonna do is digital downloads. So that being said, we're gonna actually jump into this glitter circle listing, which I actually created myself, like a lot of you who design clip art do, okay? This was actually requested by one of my customers, which was, can I just get some really cool glitter circles with that I can use for my designs? And I said, wow, I didn't know somebody would want that, but that's amazing. I'll be happy to do that. So I designed this for them. As you can see, it's only, on sale $350 because you want your digital download to be affordable for the designer typically it's a designer who is using these, or a crafter who wants to use them for, sublimation or whatever it is. And so that being said, there is an extra step that's required when you have so many items. Like I have 30 of these that are 1,000 px in size, which, kind of make up a lot. So we're going to get into this. So let's jump into this. Now, as far as the design itself, here's my recommendation. You want the title to be very clear and you want them to see, you basically want the design to showcase the elements as well as it possibly can. You want it to look attractive the same way, gifting an item and wrapping it up and making it look pretty would do for an item, right? It's funny, my husband, I just bought him this Gucci, travel, whatever you want to call it, purse kind of a thing that he can travel with. Well, when it came to our door yesterday, this was no joke. The inside of the cardboard box matched the beautiful damask elements that were matching the box that the Gucci bag was in. And then the Gucci bag was wrapped in this beautiful wrap and had a gift card and had, all of this stuff. And it just made even the unboxing an amazing experience. And what I'll say is that just like that, you want, before the person gets their item, you want them to have the best experience possible. That means that they understand fully what they're getting. They're attracted by it. It's a beautiful situation. And so that being said, that's the same for what you're providing as a hook, right? Which is your initial image. Okay, so that being said, I actually took all my cute little circle frames and circles. I mean, when you think about it, it's just a couple circles in different colors. And I figured out a creative way to showcase them so that it looked attractive, and I added these stars and stuff, right? So you want to keep that in mind when selling. I'm just giving you a little marketing tip here. And then, of course, you want the name to be nice and center, and you want your shop to be somewhere. Because in all honesty, from experience, unfortunately, you want to make sure that it's clear that it's your shop's item and it's not somebody else's, because things do happen online. And you want to make sure that nobody else can take it and use it as if it's theirs, okay? So basically, by following that, I've got my little flag here with my shop name. I've got the circles creatively displayed along with the frames, and I've got what is included very clear. So it is 30 1000 px PNG files, meaning there is transparency there for the designer or the customer who's receiving them. It's 300 DPI, which means that, yes, it will do great on print, and they are design elements, okay? So, and then I also did a, little, more of like a showing it off in a bigger way. Typically too, I do add a few more items that'll say things like in an image, say that this is a digital download and things like that. It's smart to do. Because the thing is people are going fast, and a lot of people buy stuff on their phones. So if they're just checking your image and they say, this is exactly what I've been looking for, you want to make sure that even if they don't check the listing description, that they got all the information. So it is smart to put your information inside of the image display as well, okay? Which means, it would be something like, this is a digital download. You cannot edit them. You will download them directly, right? That kind of a thing. Moving on, you do have the option of adding a video. Video is always great. For this one, I specifically did not. I do have videos on certain ones though, okay? I do add videos to my DIY items, and we are working on something for digital downloads and for custom, but right now we don't do that. But I do highly recommend it. So next, you want to do your title. So your title, it can easily be just glitter circle frame art. I mean, it's, that's easy, that's clear, that's what it is. However, your title is a chance for you to use SEO so that you are more searchable on Etsy as well as online, because Etsy also uses ads, okay? So it's smart to find a few different ways to type out what exactly is included, okay? About this listing, so you can talk about who made it, okay? What is it, okay? If you're like me and you sell digital products, it's always going to be a finished product, and when it was made, right? So that's actually 2020. And then the category. So we typically do digital, but this isn't really super important in my opinion. I really haven't figured this one out, and I was still able to hit 6 figures on Etsy doing this. So I typically use digital or art and collectibles, and I'm pretty solid there. Colors, I believe, are important because people are searching for colors. However, because it's multi for me, I chose gold because gold is a very common color that people are looking for. And then these are typically for, like people who are selling actual items. Digital, not so much, right? Unless, if you find stuff that, if you sell things like, digital art for animals or something, you may want to click something like that. As well as room. If you're doing digital prints for a bathroom, for instance, you would say, this is a digital print for a bathroom, right? As well as orientation, and framing. Now the height and the width are if it's pretty straightforward what it is. If it's a postcard, you're going to do a 4x6 or a 5x7, a poster, so on and so forth. Because mine is very specific with it being PX, I didn't worry about this because unfortunately we don't have that option here. Okay, so they've just got to step up their game with digital products. Hopefully this will change soon. Holiday too is for if you're doing something holiday. I do offer holiday because I sell business marketing for female entrepreneurs. But in this case, we won't be putting a holiday or an occasion, okay? The next thing is renewal options. So For me, the way that my business is ran, we choose automatic and we manually check to see if things are not selling. However, I will say a little hack you can do is if you click manual, anything that is not renewed, that means that it's not sold in your shop, will expire after I believe it's 4 months, right? That you're paying for the 20 cents. So that is a great way. If you're not really paying attention, you've got a full-time job, you don't have time to be looking at your numbers and stuff, that's a great way to kind of keep track of what isn't selling so that you can get rid of it and focus more on what's selling. And then for this one, because this is a digital download, we're going to stick with digital, okay? Next up is the description. So let's talk about that. So what do you need in your description? You need a hook, okay? I have my hook right here. You need to display what is exactly included. Do not let your client get surprised by anything. Be as specific as possible, as well as reminding them to make sure to read your terms and conditions, which is essentially your FAQ. And the fact which typically for us, we don't allow for refunds, but if you offer refunds and so on and so forth, right? Because you will have people who will say, oh, I didn't see that in the listing description. Well, it's in the shop. You still need to read that, right? The next thing is what it's available for. What is the license that you're giving? Are you allowing people to resell with it? Why don't you give details on that? That's very smart to do. You don't want to find when you only wanted it for personal use, you don't want to find your designs on, print-on-demand items being sold on Zazzle, right? So it's important to put the license and what is allowed. For me, specifically, I am POD friendly. I love to help other designers. Not everybody's like that, and I'm not judging. That is totally okay. It's just totally personal preference. And then how to use it, right? So for me, it's very clear. You just use it with your editing tool, whatever tool you're using. If you have a production partner, which typically for digital downloads you do not, but you can, right? So if this is something like you're selling a mug, you may want to add who you are selling that mug with. For me, that would be Printed Vint, right? And then of course tags. So this is not an SEO video, so we won't really get into that, but tags are very, very, very important. Moving on to inventory and pricing. You want a solid price. You want to always have the quantity to be, I typically stick with like 99 because 99 can sell out and I can see, whoa, what's a bestseller? What's really selling really well for me, right? But some people, after it's just a proven item, they will actually do 999. It'll never sell out, okay? We skip SKU. And allowing restock requests, I say, yeah, why not? Why not allow it to be showcased to the potential customer and that person request it if it's sold out, right? That'll always be a way for you to get a quick sale if you're having a slow day or, you want to keep going. You're not sure if that item sells. Restock requests are great. They're kind of newer. I think it was put out a year or a year and a half ago. And then this is where you upload the digital files. So here is the part that everybody kind of gets a little confused on. So when you're downloading, let's say you downloaded, like me, 30 PNGs to a folder, right? And you're like, okay, I got my stuff. Okay, so this is how it works with Etsy. Etsy allows 5 megabytes, 5 folders of 5 folders of up to 20 megabytes each. So what does that mean? That means that as long as all your items can fit in 5 folders compressed and they stay under 20 megabytes, you're good. As you can see here, mine broke up into 12 megabytes, 12 megabytes, 13 megabytes, and 11 megabytes. So I was solid here. However, for a lot of my papers and a lot of other people's papers, it will be too big. So what do? You have then got to use Dropbox or WeTransfer and hold your files there. And what you upload here is a text file of a share link to your files, okay? You can also make it an image so it's easily editable. but that is how you edit and add it to your listing if it is too large, and if it's much larger than, I don't know, 100 megabytes, right? Which happens. It's very common. The majority of papers I've purchased in my lifetime, they've been a third-party link that I have to go download from Dropbox or WeTransfer or something. So don't feel ashamed if that happens to you. That means that you're giving high-quality files, okay? At that point, you can ask if it's ready for marketing. For me, I kind of like to manually do this all at once, so I don't do it right away, but you're welcome to. And then after that, all you have to do is click publish, and that's it. And your item is then published. Look at that. It's there. It's done. You're good. So I hope this helped so that you feel better about uploading digital downloads to Etsy to sell them for your business. I'm super proud of you, by the way, for taking this time to learn this and figure this out, because a lot of people don't even get this far, right? So if I can do it, you can do it. So that being said, I'm so happy that you got to listen to this video. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and don't forget to check out our the rest of our YouTube, our podcast, Her Digital Empire. You can follow us on Instagram, Her Digital Empire. If you are a designer, I give tons of free tips and free value, and I will see you on the next video.